I'm Nick Hughes, and this is Founders Live Conversations.
Yeah, so, okay, you interface with a lot of entrepreneurs and founders.
Yeah.
What, if you could sum up, like, what, is there one or two main issues or challenges they seem to be coming up against that maybe it's just like, you just seem to be giving the same response or answer?
Well, I'm the marketing person. It's always a marketing problem.
Okay.
It's like what's going on with LinkedIn or Facebook ads or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's really connecting with the customers and not selling them. And that's the biggest thing that people have to change their mindset about is how do I authentically connect with my customers?
Yep.
And how do I be myself in this expression? And they might be shy in tech and think that they have to put themselves there, but it's like there's so many different ways to provide value, and it doesn't have to come from you exposing your life or anything like that. And it's finding the compelling story that will inspire people to engage.
Yeah, right. And it's interesting. I mean, as you know, like I'm in connection with and in touch with so many founders as well, and I noticed that there's quite a few that they have an idea, and there's like the Grand Canyon between an idea and like executing on it, like really building a company.
Yeah.
So how would you coach someone through the like, oh, I think this is a really cool thing, let's build it, to actually getting traction and they're growing? Like, that's a Grand Canyon, but like there's a lot of people here and not a lot of people here. So how do they get through that valley?
Yeah, so I've done a lot of leadership training, and I asked my girlfriend, I was like, what do you think I'm good at? She's like, well, I've never seen somebody execute like you do. We could be talking about flying bikes at lunch, and you're flying bikes in the neighborhood or by dinner time. You know, you see it out there flying bikes. So I don't understand like that gap for me personally, and I just start doing it and doing the work. And what I see, the mental gap that's created is analyzing all that shit in between. You know, like just do it. Try it and experiment and fail.
Yeah.
And it's that whole thing, like it's all a big lab, and you just experiment, and it's okay to fail. It's okay. Right. And again, like failure too is a word I don't really like or relate to, because from my snowboarding background, you go off a jump so many times in practice and fall and hurt yourself, but you never fail. Mm-hmm. And you never fail when you fall. You break bones and whatever, but it's not failure, it's your learning.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just getting better at it. And so there's that analytical gap that's created. Instead of just going a little ways and trying something.
Right.
Because if you don't try and sell somebody your stuff, like you're not ever going to know that it's good.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting, which is amazing. So let's go back to your childhood.
Okay.
You tried, and you just tried things.
Yeah.
You learned when you were like putting all that stuff in the mailboxes and you're selling stuff, like you were trying things and you had no fear of failure because you're just like, why not?
Yeah.
And I really think you developed that muscle very early.
Yeah.
And some people didn't, right?
Yep.
So then they become adults and they're like, oh, I really want to start this thing. I think this idea is great.
Yeah.
But they haven't developed that muscle of no failure, just try, like, okay, I'm channeling Yoda, which is like, don't try, just do. But I think in this context, at least attempt things, learn from them. And that's what you learn that very early in your life, and you're doing it even today. Where there is, I think that's the gap, is people that struggle don't realize that it's just about trying things and figuring out what's working and throwing away what doesn't.
And then maybe